So I am the luckiest guy because I get to work with the most incredible people ever. I am so inspired by all of the people that I get to work with as a coach. But today I want to talk about George Edwards here. He is incredible. He was a FedEx driver for 15 years. He's got a beautiful daughter. And he's always had that brain, though. He's always had that entrepreneurial spirit. He always knew that just given the chance, he could really be a successful business person. He started listening to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast, like most of us, and started actually taking action. Like there's one thing of just consuming content. It's another thing of actually taking that content and using it and pulling income out of the air because you're actually out there providing value. So he's an incredible story. I'm so excited to share this with you. Check this out.
I've been in Georgia for 11, 12 years now. It sounds so cliche, but literally listening to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast, I don't know how I came across the podcast, but I came across Wholesaling Inc. and I was just listening to that on my route every day, and it just my belly just got fire in it, man. I'm just like, me coming here working every day, 60, 70 hours a week, just not gonna cut it. So I was like, let me take this leap of faith. And I had full custody of my daughter at the time, and she became a teenager, and she wanted to move back up north with her mother because I'm originally from Ohio. I let her go back with her mom, and it was just me. So I was just like, hey, I only got one mouth to feed. I need to put it all on the line. So I walked away from FedEx and just started wholesaling. And I just put in my 2 weeks, and the senior managers, they kind of like was doubting me, like, so what are you gonna be doing now? And I'm just like, I'm going to real estate. And it's like, oh, you better be careful. Real estate is very lucrative, this, and this. Like they were like kind of downplaying me a little bit, but I still left, man. Put in my notice and I left. I was living paycheck to paycheck, man. And I don't even think I had $2,000. But I did build up a nice retirement while I was there in those 15 years. So it took like 60 days for that money to come. But once that money started dwindling down because I wasn't reinvesting it and making it grow, I really got going in wholesaling. That's when I really started taking action and closing deals. I knew I wasn't going back to work, hit another clock. So I was just like, I got to make this work, no matter what. And I did. I mean, but it really took me getting down to like back against the wall, like you said, for me to really like, okay, we got to make these calls, we got to get these contracts, we got to follow up, we got to do all these things. So that's what it took for me, because I mean, 15 years in corporate America, you're used to that steady paycheck coming each week, but when you walk away from that, it's like you eat what you kill, and it's like a way different mentality you got to have, Growing up young, we would like rent out houses, my parents, and we would like have the nicest house on the block because my mom was into like the landscape thing and like the houses. So me and my brother was like putting up drywall, replacing toilets, putting in sinks and stuff, and I was cutting the yards and stuff. So I already knew at a young age, like, man, I love to like revitalize like a neighborhood or the house. And so I think it was always in me. And also too, I noticed at work, I didn't really take orders well, from like managers. Or, like I always would question, like, why is this or why is that, or like, not that I was like hard to get along with, but I don't like taking orders, man. So it's really good that I got out of there, because now I feel like I'm me. I'm more of who I am. Like I can be who I am versus like who I didn't like to be at that time. At FedEx, I had a real good friend of mine, and he's originally from Jacksonville, Florida. And he, right around the time I was listening to wholesaling and stuff, and I didn't fully have it, but I knew about it. And so he told me about this piece of land that he inherited from his father or whatever in Jacksonville. And we're in Atlanta. And I'm just like, hey, man, what are you going to do with that piece of land? Are you just going to just pay taxes on it every year? I mean, you're not going to build on it and stuff like that. Long story short, I got a purchase and sale agreement with him, and I put it on Facebook Marketplace, and the guy hit me up in my DMs like, I know a buyer who will buy this, sight unseen. They buy big time here in this area. And we did an assignment agreement, and I think I made like maybe $3,500 on my first deal. and just the proof of concept. I mean, it was really a lap deal. To be honest, now that I know more about the business, like it just came to me in my first post. Like a guy was like, "Yeah, let's do it," and I was skeptical then. I'm just like, let me make sure you're the real deal. You know, I didn't know how to like pre-qualify someone. You know, but turned out, man, we got paid on that deal, and I was just like, okay, it's real. And that's when I just was like, yeah, gotta go. And Brent he's really been phenomenal. He's not my only mentor. I have a few other mentors, and I would tell Brent in a heartbeat, but I mean, this guy he's like a really solid, genuine guy. You know, like anytime I text him, he responds right away. I mean, he's called me a few times. I call him. I mean, I don't think you can't find that, you know, often. And, you know, because these other mentorships that I'm in, or it's like you're looking up to the investor or the person, and it's just, I'll pay for this program, you know, then you can get my number that way, or this, and this. But I mean, it never was like that with Brent. Like, you know, I got his number, and I mean, I wasn't the guy that hit him up like right away. Like, it was probably, I don't know, it was months later. But even when I finally did text him, he knew exactly who I was, and we just like, I mean, Brent has helped me a lot, especially on my biggest assignment deal. It was like a $40K deal, and it was right at the closing table, and the buyer was like wanting to back out because of something with the tenant. And what did I do? I called Brent up, and Brent was right there. He was out of town, as a matter of fact. He was like somewhere in Florida at a speaking event, and he picked it up, and he's just like, yeah, George, this, and this. And I'm just like, oh man, it just really helped me out, you know, just that one phone call, you know. So TTP is just, I mean, it's like family too. When I come here, you know, Alejandra, everyone there is just always friendly and just really nice. So yeah, I love TTP. This is what separates Brent from a lot of other individuals that I've worked with. He's really passionate about what he does. Like, Brent wants to be the best coach. And I tell you something else, what he says, he lives. Like, what I mean by that is like how he teaches wholesale. I probably hit Brent up twice, like, Brent, you know, what am I gonna do with this deal? And he wouldn't hesitate, like, what do you mean? Wholesale it, like get you a buyer, assign it. Like, never once has he said, you probably could hold on to this one. Like the flip that I'm doing right now, I could show you the text message, Brent, like, sell it. What do you mean? Don't keep it, sell it, you know? And so he really is passionate, and what he does, he practices what he preaches. So yeah, Brent is the truth. Like, I don't know any other business like this that you can get in. I mean, and what I really love about it, just for the last thing, is like, it is a low barrier of entry. Like, anybody can do it, but do they really want to do it? Like, I mean, there's a lot of individuals who, even people who have been doing it for years, it's like, yeah, they can do a deal or two, but have they made a business out of it? Or is it more so like a hobby or something? Because if you don't make it a business early on, man, you'll get burnt out, you know, because it's like eat as you kill. It's like you got to put in the work, and then you reap the benefits. But if you don't have that machine to keep doing it for you, it's tough work. So that's why I'm just dropping everything and just doing the grunt work now, because I don't want to keep staying on that wheel, you know. And it's just like, I know how to do all of this. I know how the business works. It's time that I find the people and the culture and like really build it up. So